on, all the upcoming videos of this series will be available early for the members of the channel. That means that if you have the membership, you will get access to the videos before they will be released to the public. It's a great way to stay ahead and support the channel and dive into the content as soon as it's ready. Thank you so much for all the support, and as always, happy coding.
Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel, and this is going to be the next part of our multi-platform series. So in the previous video we covered variables and data type, and in this video we will be covering functions in Kotlin, how functions work, how you can create functions, how you can define and access functions and all that. So let's just get straight into it. So basically over here I'll start with the function main, and this is basically the basic stuff. So in Kotlin you can define different functions, as like any programming language you can define functions. And in Kotlin the function syntax is pretty much something like this. You have to start with a keyword func. This basically func again is a keyword that you can use, and then it will be followed by the name of the functionality. So in this case it is main, so that is how it is. And then uh, with these brackets with parentheses you can define that, and then you will open this curly bracket and close bracket. So that is something as function. Now when we talk about some basic naming for this, so this is the keyword function, this is the name or signature of the functionality, and this is the body of the function. Now inside the function you can write or do anything you want. That's one thing. The second type of function that we have is basically a function that returns some sort of value. Function that returns value. So in that case, if a function is supposed to return something, like normally in any function or like in programming, when we talk about function, a function is supposed to do some sort of functionality for you. The functionality can be of two type. In one case you don't get some sort, or you don't require some sort of value for this. For example, if I want a function to print something, I can just give that data to the function and say that okay, print it out. I don't care if that function is like, if it's execute, it's done. I don't care, or like I don't need anything in return. But there will be functionality when you will need some sort of stuff in return. For example, when you want a function to add two numbers for you, so in that case you will need a result value from that function, because you will be passing two variable to it, and you will require some sort of value. And there will be a lot of other stuff in future as well, when you need a functionality to give you something. So for function to return something, how do we basically create those kind of function in Kotlin? And that for that you can create again a keyword function, and let's use the add functionality in this case, or let's use get name functionality. It will be more easier for me, okay, because I'm not going to pass anything to it. Now this get name function, and now you will be defining the type of value that it return. Like in this case it should return a string. So I'll basically define that string over here, and then I'll basically open the curly brackets and then the body of the function. And now when you have something that is basically return, when you try to run this code without the return value, it will fail. So you need to make sure if your function is having a return type, or like a value that it should return, it should always return that. And like this, for example, now I'm going to use this function, okay, and we'll just print this like this. When you run this, it will run, it will print my name. Now let's say it is returning, it is string, and I want to return a number with this, okay. So let's say when you try this, it will fail, and it will say that you are supposed to define an actual value for this. So that is important, and you need to make sure to return the proper value that basically the system or the functionality require, okay. Now the next thing for functionality for function is basically to pass some value parameters to this. And how basically we pass of some sort of values to this, like in case of addition. So in addition you will be getting, first as integer, and then second as integer, and then in return you will also need an integer, because two integer will be returning an integer for you. Now again similar, you will be have a function keyword, and then the name or signature of the functionality, and then these are the parameters. The parameters can be of any data type, it can be of anything. The only thing that you need to make sure is that the first thing is going to be the parameter name, and the second thing is going to be the value. So like I said, like I created the first in integer, you can definitely create one with string and all that. So it depends on what kind of functionality the function is doing and what kind of parameter or values that it requires. So it totally, it's up to that. Now again, when you do that, again, as I said, you will require to return an integer for that. So for that, I'm going to say first plus second. So that's all you can do. And once you do that, let me just call that function as add and pass 4 comma 6 into this. Now when I run that, you will see that it will give me 10. 4 plus 6, 10. So that is how these parameterized functionality works. Now uh, there is one more thing in Kotlin, and that those functions are called as the single expression function. So a single line or in single expression functions are like similar to this. Like we have this add functionality, but rather than having this whole thing, okay. So I'm gonna do one more function, and this time I'm gonna say subtract, but I'm not gonna return something or like do something like this. Instead, what I'm gonna do is that I can say simple is equals to first minus second, and it will be just like that. You can just copy this, paste it over here, and run it. And now you can see that 4 minus 6 is equals to minus 2, and this is something you can do it like this. One more thing, if you want, to return a string value of that, for example, so you can say string, wrap it around and say to string. Now when you run this, you will again get minus 2, but this is basically now string, right? You can define an int, and now when you do that, it will fail because now it says that it needs to be integer. So if I get that to string away, you will see that now it's working. So basically these kind of functionalities are always there. You can define some just like a variable, but actually they are a functionality. So I think that was a little bit of how the Kotlin function works. So thank you so much for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next. So till then, happy coding. Bye. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you found this tutorial helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and press the bell icon so you don't forget any update. If you got any question, you can join my Discord server. The link is in the description. Also, for quick updates and tips, you can follow me on Instagram. Until next time, keep learning, keep developing. Bye.